bolos aren't always bolos. And even though I have brands that I love to pick up, there still comes with, some rules about picking them up. Hi, my name is Leanna, and today we're talking about brands I love and why I would pick them up and why I won't pick them up. So, to start off with, we all talk about bolos, and bolos are fantastic. And there are brands out there that, yes, probably will always be a bolo. You think Louis Vuitton. Not that I've ever seen it in person, and I wouldn't know if it was real or not anyway, but those types of brands, absolutely, you're going to be picking them up. But you always have to keep in mind your cost of goods, because even if you can sell something for $100, if you're buying it for $90, it's not going to be worth your while, right? I mean, it sort of goes without saying. The same as if its condition is that bad, you probably don't want to be picking it up either. You also have to keep in mind about the style, because just because something is a certain brand doesn't mean that the style is still wanted. It might just be a really old style that nobody wants anymore. I've fallen into that trap before. But there are brands that I absolutely love to buy, and depending on cost of goods and condition, I definitely pick them up more often than not. So those brands, Levi's. I love Levi's. I think Levi's is a staple in anybody's closet, whether that's your selling closet or your actual personal closet. And I will definitely pick these up, considering cost of goods and whatever. Right now, I tend to be picking up the higher rise ones because I don't see low rise really coming back yet so much. But definitely picking up the high rise. And I tend to go towards more of a skinny or a straight as opposed to the flare. I haven't seen a lot of flares in Levi's yet. But definitely picking up the Levi's. Except for Levi's signature brand, those I don't pick up. Those are a Walmart brand, I believe. And they're just not, the price isn't there for me, like to sell it, when I have to pay $9 and $10 per pair of pants. I also don't pick up a lot of Levi's during the warmer months because they don't necessarily sell for me. When I start shopping for fall and winter, that's when I start going back into the jeans section. The next brand that I love to pick up and sells really well for me is Free People. Now, I know there's been some controversy lately. Well, it's not even been lately because it was a while back. About Free People having their own closet on Poshmark and how that was going to affect resellers. I don't get access to a lot of Free People items. I think I still have a couple of items in my closet that haven't sold yet, and I'm surprised about. But normally, when I pick up a Free People piece, because I don't get it that often, it does sell. And it sells fairly well for me. So when I see that Free People tag, when it's actually Free People and not, what's the other one that sort of looks like that? Poof. Yeah, I have to really look. But when I see the Free People tag, I absolutely love it. And I pick it up. And sometimes thrift stores miss that tag. And they don't know what they have, and it's priced a little bit lower sometimes. Another brand, and some of these brands you're going to know. I have a couple that you might not know, but anyway, the next brand, Harley Davidson. I will pick up usually Harley Davidson t-shirts or jackets or boots, things with the Harley Davidson logo on it, because they do sell. And that to me, in some ways, it's it's just timely in the sense that it's classic. It's a classic sort of piece to have in your wardrobe. Everybody likes a good Harley t-shirt for some reason. I don't own one, but I love selling them. They sell really well. Sometimes they do get priced up though, so you have to watch it. But my best Harley Davidson sale was a leather jacket that I did pay $40 for and had to get the zipper pull, not the whole zipper, just the pull fixed. So it cost me another $7.50. So all total, I was into it like $48. And I did sell it for $300. So I was very happy with that. It was a really nice bike jacket. So anything Harley, I'd absolutely look at in the stores and look at the condition, look at what they're asking for it. And I might do the comp search then as well, because if the price is a little bit higher, I want to still make sure there's enough room in there for me to make profit. So one of the brands that you may not be aware of, there is a brand called Kaliyanna. I'm going to put up the, what's the label? The label. I'm going to put up the label here so you can see. I don't know a lot about this brand, but I do know that I have picked up a few times, and it has sold for 50, for 40, for 30, and it gets just regular thrift store pricing. So if t-shirts or shirts are $5 or $6, that's what they're pricing this brand at, because they don't really realize what it is. That is a brand that I will absolutely pick up. Again, condition, price. I gotta stop saying that, but you guys all know. Definitely pick that up because it is selling well for me. A couple of other brands. Knix, as long as the price is right, I will be picking up Knix bras. I'm actually looking for one that would fit me because I think they would be really super comfortable. Knix I will pick up depending on the price. I recently picked up a Knix bra and didn't realize it at the time, but it had no size in it whatsoever. So I'm not sure about that one. That one I'm going to have to measure and maybe price it a little bit lower, but it happens. A few other ones that, for the most part, I pick up between 90 and 100% of the time. Earth Origins, Finn Comfort, Volks Walkers, all those 3 shoe brands I will definitely be picking up. Again, price, condition, because they sell for me. They sell pretty good for me. I can list it and they're usually gone within a week or 2. Awesome. So other brands that I love to pick up, but really the price has to be low. So some of these brands might be bins pickups. So, and you might be surprised at a couple of them. Number one is Converse. Well, I love picking up Converse because I love Converse. I have about, I'm going to say 8 pairs of my own in my own personal collection. They're just something I love. So I will look at them and pick them up for myself, or I will sell them if the condition is good. But I don't pick them up all the time because that is a brand that gets priced way up in the thrift stores, and it's not really worth it. Another brand that I would be picking up maybe at the bins or only if the price is really low are Ed Hardy shoes or bags. They can sell fairly okay for me. Sometimes they take a little bit longer, but the price has to be lower because sometimes I'm just hanging on to it for a while. The last brand with that bins sort of mentality is Torrid. Torrid used to be my go-to brand. I loved it. It would sell. It was selling pretty good. Thrift stores were overpricing it, but now thrift stores are overpricing it. In my estimation, from what I want it for. I don't want to spend $8, $9, $10 on a Torrid blouse that's only going to be selling for $15 to $20. That's just not there for me anymore. But if I could pick it up at the bins, because then it's only going to be, probably $1 or $2, then absolutely I'd be picking it up. That profit margin has to be there. So Torrid is just one of those items, especially with the blouses. Not so much with the pants or the dresses, because the prices are still a little bit higher on them. But then at my thrift stores, pants and dresses are usually priced a little bit higher as well. But I was really surprised by that. That is something, if you had asked me like a year and a half ago, I would have said, yep, Torrid's my number one. I love Torrid. I love it. I love it. I buy it all the time. Now I don't. I more often than not leave it at the thrift store because there's no profit for me. The last brand, and it's not really a brand, it's more of a category, is vintage items. I love vintage, and I have a lot of vintage in my closet, but it does take longer to sell because I think it's waiting for that right buyer. So it's going to really only appeal to a smaller amount of people, but I love picking it up because I think it's just super cool. And usually you can get some really good materials like silks and cashmeres and wools, and I love it. But that is something, when I find it, I have to really think about whether or not I want to pay for it in order to make that profit, or whether it's not going to be worth my while. That is a category that I find really hard to leave at the thrift store. And vintage does not fit me at all. It just doesn't. Sizes, they didn't have chubbier people back then or something. I don't know. They didn't have the fashion for people my size back then. That's what it is. But anyway, I love vintage and I will continue to pick it up on occasion for sure, because it does sell eventually. But yeah, those are about all of the brands that I love to pick up, depending on price, depending on condition, as long as I make profit. There are brands that I absolutely just get excited about seeing. Anyway, I hope everybody is having a good week. Give me a thumbs up if you like this content. I am uploading Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Nope, I'm not going to see you tomorrow. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.